Hey guys, Renner here. Welcome back to BeamNG Drive for a bit more of banger racing. And up front we have the only new car for this round, the Bubble Hen, but I made it a little bit wider because why not? Because more room for crashing and damage, because that's the good reason. Then in second place we have the car which loses brakes after about 5 seconds. The Mion van version with the 3 litre engine to make it fast enough. Then in third, we have a car which I've only just realised the fuel tank's in the front because the engine's in the back, so hits on the front won't do the thing too good. The Piccolino CJD. In fourth, we have the Legrand Aero Coupe. At the back, the car that needs to win, the Kashira US Rally version. And I've already set everything off just to get it going a bit quicker for these rounds, and away everything goes very slowly as normal. Although the Piccolino's got a good tiny speed, I was going to... Oh, that was a hard hit. I don't think that took out the fuel tank. I mean, give it a massive whack. Well, everything's got a massive whack in the back, in a dent in the back of it now. Here comes the Aero Coupe and the Kashira though. But up front, everything's going okay, and the cars at the back, the fastest two cars, still have quite a bit of catching up to do. For some reason they ended up going extremely slowly at the start. You know, they had to start them a little bit further back. Once again, through the testing and the spacing of the cars, it worked out okay, but of course, because they're AI and randomly programmed, they end up doing whatever sometimes. But these two staying this far at the back could actually, you know, give them an advantage later on. Because the front three are going to be pushing each other out of the way, and then those two can just come and possibly just pick up the spoils and maybe even lead out of the first corner. It's taken the entire straight, and this time they're not even caught up. They're as far back as they were the other times. This time they've just decided they didn't want to actually do anything. Are these two now stuck together? Possibly? I'm not sure. I've seen to the braking zone. I don't think they are, but it's possible. Also, with the other cars right up behind, I don't exactly want to start separating cars yet. Let's see how they do. No, they're not separated. And that's going to be a crash show, is it? Or is it going to get around the corner? It's going wide, it's going wide, it's going to tag! It tags the lead of the front two, taking each other out! Oh, that's not good. That's not good for the Bubble Hen. It's going to be right on the racing line, but I think it's just going to get away with it. And then three come the second two. Yeah, and like I said, leave the front three take each other out, and then leave the slowest two to sort it out amongst themselves. And now then this is going the wrong way, so I'm going to have to disable that and spin it round. I'll say spin it round very slowly, to go in the correct direction, like so. And now it depends. Can it get back past? I mean, I doubt it, because it's meant to be the slowest car here. But it has a chance though immediately here. Try and make a move. I mean, it is quick on the acceleration, but the Mion's quicker on the brakes, and that might be the end of it for the little Bubble Hen. So up front, it is the Piccolino that leads the way. I don't know if the fuel tank's intact. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. And in second place we have the undamaged Aero Coupe, and at the back in third place we have the undamaged Kashira, which somehow still needs to find a way to get to the lead. It's the quickest thing here, and it needs to start showing that. And you have the fight for survival now, because if these two cars finish in last place, they'll be out, along with the Kashira if he doesn't win this round. And now then the Mion's definitely getting a bit of a push, because it is slower through the lower gears, so this is where the Bubble Hen has the advantage of just trying to push its way through. Why are they not catching up to the Piccolino though, is the next question. I mean, for this part, yeah, they are slower through the lower gears as well. That's where the Piccolino will have the advantage on the other slower cars at the start. Now the Piccolino, it doesn't need to win. The Kashira is the car that needs to win. And the Bubble Hen loses a little bit of ground into the corner. But now then, is the Mion going to get itself stopped? It's running out wide, running out very wide. It's going to get a little bit slide and it's spun it into the corner. It's spun itself now on the racing line. And now then, is the Bubble Hen going to get through? Oh, just manages to get through. And now then, now it's not looking good for the Mion. Now then, that's the car in last place and we'll be out as things stand. But there's still an entire other lap of the race yet to go, so still plenty of time for anything yet to happen. These two seem pretty content for now, though the Aero Coupe, it can hold up the Kashira, and then the Kashira's eliminated, but still, then there's going to be potentially an even quicker car behind it next time, so the advantage will be short term, it just needs to win. But I mean, it's been here with the Kashira from the start, it knows the strengths and weaknesses of the Kashira, So if I were, I'd let it go and possibly give it a chance of the win, because you know what's behind you, you know it's not something that's going to completely annihilate you. And these two are really losing a lot of time to the Piccolina, which again still makes absolutely no sense and shouldn't be happening. The bubble hen, you can see, is taking a bit of a whack from the back, than the Mion. How's that going to do now over there? It's still going to go for the shortcut line. Yes, it is, and he gets over there. Actually, okay, probably because he wasn't going fast enough to try and spin itself out that time. Clean though, it's... I'm guessing since it got this far, the fuel tank has stayed intact this time. And the Aerocoup pulling away a little bit from the Kashara, so it's a little bit quicker through the lower gears. Then it's got the entire straight to catch up to the Piccolina and potentially do something about actually getting into the lead, because that's what it needs to do. Well, the Kashara does at least anyway. The Aerocoup not so much, gets a little bit of a nudge though, going down the end of the straight, and now they're on the brakes. The Aerocoup can play this very defensively if it really wants to eliminate the Kashara. Look at this, parking itself on the racing line, going a little bit defensive, going a little bit wide, just going even slower, costing itself more time than it otherwise could do. It seems content just to accept second place and get the Kashara eliminated at the minute though. The bubble hen is now just in a world of its own. The Mion might possibly catch it up, giving its good on the brakes if it doesn't keep spinning itself out though. On to the second lap though. It's the Piccolina that leads the way still. But these two are definitely closer than they were last time, and they've actually got momentum and they've actually got going this time, so there still could be plenty of pushing yet to come on this second lap. But they're going to need to catch it down the straight if they're actually going to do anything about changing the car that ends up being in the lead of this race. And the Kashara's got it all to do now on the second lap, but we've seen stranger things happen before back when I had the series back in the original Racemania series. There's still plenty of time yet to go. And the bubble hen spinning itself out is exactly what the Mion need, although that comes spinning through as well. That's going to spin itself back out onto the racing line in time. It's going to try and reverse into it. It does. It takes out the bubble hen, but not enough. It just couldn't quite hit the par that it needed to. These two, if they're both having braking issues, then it's all playful for the car that actually survives this round. And the Kashara, he's getting a little bit of urgency going now, but the Aerocoup once again just parking itself on the line, and of course the more these two bump, the more the Aerocoup is going to slow itself down and play itself defensively. And it's just giving the Piccolina just a free ride of survival at the front. The bubble hen's made it onto the second lap, and the Mion's made it around the final corner, and we'll have another chance of catching up to the bubble hen in the battle for survival. I mean, structurally, the car looks okay, they're just struggling under the brakes for some reason. So it's the Piccolina. I won't say miles in front, but for a gap in this series, it's miles in front. On the battle for second place, the Aerocoup once again pulling away. The Kashara, it doesn't have an answer this time for some reason. I guess because it hasn't got the other cars out of the way, and it does struggle through the lower gears. And that's the car that's going to be eliminated. The Kashara though, is coming out. Is it going to give the Aerocoup a little bit of push? These two, they're evenly matched on the top end speed. There's not really a whole lot that it can do, and they're not catching up. The Piccolina once again is actually pulling away. And still, these two now way behind the bubble hen and the Mion after their various mishaps in this round so far. And then into the midsection, a little bit of a lock up there from the Piccolina, but it makes the apex perfectly fine, as it has done every other time. And there's a little bit of a nudge. The Aerocoup almost got shoved out of the way, but I think the Aerocoup is also four-wheel drive, so that's going to help it under stability and acceleration. Yeah, the Kashara is also four-wheel drive, but it's majority front-wheel drive though. The bubble hides off again at turn 1, and the Mion's going to slide its way through. And oh no, it's spun out completely. Although I think it's going to start going the right way again though. Maybe, or was it completely confused now? Is it going to start going the wrong way, or is it going to turn itself around? I'm guessing it's going the wrong way from that. So then I'll have to turn this thing around myself. Although that might have just ended any chance of this thing getting through out of last place. So there's still plenty of braking zones yet to go. It's going to need to actually start making them if it's to actually survive. Back in front, the Piccolina still leads. And the battle for second is still really nice and slow. The Aerocoup just going as slow as it likes, you know. Because that's what it can. It doesn't need to win. It can hold the Kashara, have a new car behind it next time. So the Kashara giving it a little nudge, just trying to do anything it can just to push the Aerocoup out of the way, but it's really not having it. The Aerocoup really wanting those defensive scenes from the first couple rounds. And they've got the Bubblehead so far behind now with the issues it's been having, along with the Mion, which is still actually going in the correct direction. Surprised it hasn't actually got a puncture from spinning out over the curbs the last time, but that's the one thing that surprised me about this car, at least anyway. 5 seconds, and still everything remains the same as it did on the lap before. The Aerocube's doing enough, and then through the lower gears, able to pull away a little bit from the Kashira. And I'm not really seeing unless both those two spin out or something, which is entirely possible, since the Bubbleheim's in doing it enough. Is it going to go the wrong way? I think it's now going the wrong way. It is in fact going the wrong way. I'm going to put the thing on disabled and get it to turn around. Do a nice little J-turn with this thing and get it back going again in the right direction. And now then, here comes the Mion. The 5 for survival, the other 5 for survival, is still definitely on. Now the Mion already lost it into the corner. That was just it's got a little bit unstable. And it's off now into the gravel, so that might be that's one of its other chances gone now of actually getting through. As the Piccolina is now out the final corner, and now then coming up to the finish line, and it takes it a really uneventful win. Gets the win easily, so let's put that now on stopping. And it's going to want to keep away from these two, which are going to have, I'm fairly certain, a post-race grudge match with each other. I don't know, is that wheel a little bit down? I think it might have just been the way that it was angled. Let's put that then on stopping as well. Get on board then with the Kashai, which is almost now over the line as well, which it is. And is there going to be any end race aggro between either of those 3 cars? Well, there's still going to be the little nudges, although they're going to hit into the right into the back though. Of the Piccolino is going to send it off into the distance. And the Bubblehead, these 2 cars have fallen so far behind. And the Mion, I don't even think that thing's got even a chance of getting itself through at this point now. But what's the money for those 2? I can give these 3 their end of race test drive. Even with that whack at the end, the Piccolina, it's okay. The engine survived the whack with this little casing bit still there as well. The Aerocube, the only damage it took was there at the end, and it's only damaged the front bumper, and it took out the line as well, I suppose. But apart from that, this car is perfectly fine. And the car that's in the best condition is the Kashira. I mean, it's got a little bit damage on the front bumper from the end. But otherwise, this thing is in perfect condition. However, though, it is out of the next round. Because it didn't win, and it needed to. That's the rule. The car that wins the previous round has to win the next one in order to go through. Now let's get on the Bubblehead. It's making it through. What about the Mion? That's even further behind, but is still making it. And I just need one of those 2 cars to finish, and that'll be the 4th car through. I mean, I've either end up having a new first or second place car and a new fastest car. Once again, under braking, and the Bubblehead's gone round again. It's going to hit the curbing. Oh, that's the taking out the tyre that time. It's taking out the tyre. It's taken out both front tyres actually, and both of the hubcaps as well. And with this thing being front wheel drive, that could be problematic, because both those wheels do the steering and deliver the power, but with this close to the end, I don't think it's really going to make a difference. And it's just going to get around the final few corners. And let's see, front wheel drive, 2 front punctures, how's it going to do? At 1 turning, or to getting itself stopped? I mean, the understeer is there. If this was only the first lap, then the Mion definitely would have had a chance of getting past it still. Now, it's coming up now to the finish line, still doing pretty good speed actually. Going to do, what's he do? 44 over the line. And let's put that on stopping. And is it going to crash into the Kashira? Is it going to crash? It's going to have a little bit of a nudge. Which then means that the Mion, how is this going to get around the second to last corner this time? Is it going to get around this time? It does. It actually gets around the corner this time. It's finally mastered itself not spinning out. But, I mean, its lights still work at the front, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be eliminated. But since it's here, I'm going to wait for it to finish anyway. There's going to be a new second place car. and a new fastest car, so a new 5th place car for next time, so getting a little bit of variety in for the next round. Now, how's it going to do coming up to the line? It's not going as fast as what the bubble hen did, but this thing we know has no brakes, so I'm expecting it to get a little bit crunched. Which it is. Let's slow that down. Gonna be hit right into the back corner as well. And yeah, that is the look of defeat, really. And yeah, that's it. And apart from having no brakes, got a little wheel spin, but it drives okay. And the bubble hen, after taking all of that damage at the end, and just more cosmetic, and with the punctures as well. So yeah, understeering now, but it only had a few corners left to go, so it made it through. And I don't even know what this thing's doing. You know what? Drive into the wall. It's eliminated anyway. Into the wall at 40, because why not? So yeah, this thing is possessed. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell, so you haven't any future videos. If you can be followed on Twitter and Instagram, then much appreciated. The link to the description down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.